Hello, it's the Beginner Crafter. Welcome to another Crochet and Crafts tube video. And today I have the same projects I started last Crochet and Crafts tube. So the blanket and the rabbit, the amigurumi mascot of a rabbit. And what I have from this is the finished head. We're mostly finished. I still need to sew on the cheeks and I need to embroider the eyelashes, but the head is mostly finished. I also have the body, or at least most of it. Haven't stuffed it too much yet because it's not supposed to be closed, and I just didn't want the stuffing to get lost from the body of the amigurumi. I have to say I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work because this body is one row smaller than the head, and in the picture it looks much bigger, and usually the body is bigger than the head, so I'm not sure how it works. So we'll see. And I have the ears that are going to be sewn onto the head, so that's also finishing the head. And I started making one arm, so I got about 10 or 11 rows. So that's stuffed, because this is the amount of stuffing that's going to be needed for an arm, and the rest is just going to be crocheted but not stuffed. The stuffing goes to the end of an arm. So I need to do the finish this arm, do the second one, the other one, make the legs, and there's also like braid hairband kind of around the head with some flowers and leaves on. So there's still a bit to do, but those are mostly smaller pieces, although arms and legs, because they are so like thin, as you can see, it's just a few stitches around. They're quite difficult to sew for me. I have quite thick fingers, so it's not the easiest way to crochet for me. They are just a little bit too tight for me most of the time. So these are mostly small pieces to make. So I hope next Crochet and Craft tube it will be finished, and it's kind of the perfect time to finish because the baby is due pretty soon, so it will be high time for me to finish. And the other project that I'm making is the blanket for the baby, and I have made considerable progress. Just let me move this a little bit away so that you can see. So this is the start here. And this is what I have so far. It's quite a lot. as you can see. Let me measure it. It should be about 80 centimeters across, because that's about as wide as I wanted to be. I think I still need to zoom it out a little bit. Nope, it is too big to get into the view of my camera, so let me move the camera this way. So it's 76 centimeters right now, and with the border it should get to about 80 centimeters. And when it comes to the length, at the moment it's let me pull it up. Yes, it's 75 centimeters, so it's almost a perfect square at the moment, which means I'm about 2/3 in length, because I think I want it to be a rectangle. That the width is about 2/3 of the length. So yeah, I still think I will need about 40 centimeters. I'll see what it looks like when it gets 100 centimeters, so about 25 inches. No, not 25 inches. 35 inches probably. No, 40 inches. So I'll have a look then if I like the proportions of it, if it's rectangular enough. But yeah, for now it's going well, although I have to say in the last few rows I've made a mistake and I forgot to finish the arrow with this stitch, and I had to rip the row because well, this is a noticeable mistake. I can live with some other mistakes. I'm pretty sure somewhere I made 2 chains in the break here instead of 1, so I'm pretty sure 1 hole is a little bigger, but this is a mistake that's not easily noticeable. I mean, I can't see it anywhere, even though I know it's here, so that doesn't really bother me, but losing an arrow, losing a part of the arrow, not the best idea. It would show, really. I'm now on the 7th ball, no, 7th, no, on the 8th. I finished 7 balls of yarn. The first one that I had, and then I bought 6 extra, so I finished that. And I started ball number 8, and you can see the join here, so that's not much that I have done with the new yarn. Of course, I will cut these out. So this is the 8th ball of yarn. It's 50-gram yarn, as far as I remember. It should be here. Yeah, for some reason I can't find this information, but I'm pretty sure it's a 50-gram ball of yarn. It's a fine yarn, number 2, and it calls for a 3.5mm hook, and that's what I'm using. Oh yeah, here it is. Yes, 50 gram, 150 meters. So this is my 8th ball. I still have 3 more balls because I bought another 4 balls of yarn. I'm not entirely sure if it will be enough, since, well, in theory, if 7 balls that I use is about 2/3, then half of it is 3.5 balls. And I have 3 and a bit more than a half balls of yarn. So it should be enough, but I still need to make a border. And at first I was thinking about doing the border in a different color, but now I think it would probably disrupt the look. It would take attention away from the pattern, and I really like the pattern. So I think I will use the same yarn. So if need be, I will buy some more yarn. For now, because I may not need to get to 120 centimeters or, I don't know, 50 inches, then if I need less yarn, because I will make fewer rows, then it should be enough for the border as well. And if not, then I'll buy another ball of yarn. It's not expensive yarn, so it's not a problem to buy extra yarn, but just to let you know, it consumes yarn. Yarns are quite cheap, at least in my country. They are nice and soft, so they are quite good quality. This is a 150 meter ball of yarn, and this is 164 yards, so not super long yarn. And yeah, I think this size blanket that I want to make will need about 10 to 12 balls of yarn, just so you know. But you can make the blanket smaller if you want. Mine will be quite big because I wanted more or less that big, just so it's more useful. It lasts longer for the baby. They can use it as a mat because it's really soft. They can use it, like when the baby is smaller, they can use it as a wrap, kind of. And later when the baby is bigger, they can just use it as a blanket to cover the baby during winter, for example, or colder spring evenings. So I want the blanket to be quite big, and therefore I need quite a lot of yarn. But if you want to make a lovey out of it, or just a smaller blanket, yes, it doesn't need as much yarn, and this yarn is quite cheap, so you can easily make it without it costing too much. The pattern is from Craft Crochet, and I will link, although I might not be able to link to the video, but I will write the title of the video or how to get there. But she makes lots of blankets. Really, it's, I think, in the thousands of how many blankets she has, or other projects. So go to her, and she explains really well how she makes those blankets. So I can recommend that. And it is possible that I will use this pattern in the future for my own things I'm going to make, just because I like it a lot and I think it can be useful in a lot of possibilities and a lot of projects. So I think I will reuse that, and if I design something myself, I will be able to create a tutorial for a project of mine, and I hope to do that possibly next year. I can't promise that because it is possible I will be too busy with changing the flat and renovating and just work, that I will just be able to make projects that I have started, that are designed by someone else, and only later I will have the time to create something on my own, test it, and then show it to you. But I really feel like I have enough experience and enough knowledge and enough skills to try and create something mine. Using, of course, all the things I've learned from other people, but create something that I designed myself. And then I will show it to you as a tutorial. If you've liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. It's always appreciated. Comment down below if you want to say something about the blanket or about the amigurumi rabbit. And consider subscribing if you want to see the progress of the blanket and the rabbit. And I do hope to finish them by next Crochet and Craft Tube, which will be in 2 weeks' time about. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye!